What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Saucy, and fresh off a big weekend, Sauce. A great weekend for the hobby, to be honest. Um, we're back at it again for episode 140. First of all, how are you? All right, you're like a
On the
star
mend.
player getting injured, mate. Like so.
On the mend.
Yep.
Why?
Everyone was concerned about you on Sunday, even that you're faking it. But anyway, besides the point.
Oh, jeez, I wish I wasn't faking it. I wish I wasn't faking. My foot still is swollen. Not the size of a balloon, quite like it was days preceding me doing it, but still pretty sore. Still pretty sore. So slowly getting back to full health. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But still toughed it out and head down to the hobby hangout on Sunday and had a blinder of a day. For some reason, they decided to put a microphone in our hands, Domo, and got us up on stage, which was, it was good. It was a good discussion that we had with the lads up there in, obviously Lane, Jules, and Shano, Panther. So, yeah, it was good to have a chat and talk a bit of politics in the hobby, what it might be, grading and other things that are, always discussion points amongst collectors. And, obviously meeting people that we've met in the past that, it's always nice to see their faces coming up to the table saying hello and obviously hooking up some people with some fantastic cards to add to their collection, which we were able to do as well. So,
we'll definitely mention that to a few. We'll mention that in the hobby talk. What we bought, what we sold, who picked up what, some of the people that we had the pleasure of interacting with on the day. Obviously, we won't be able to name every stall, but if you do want to see that, you just head over to the Hobby Hangout flyer and everyone that was represented there on the day will be on there. But it was fantastic overall, mate. It was awesome. And there was a big takeout of the show, which we'll talk about also in Hobby Talk. The big takeout out of that show was one thing in particular. And you and I both know what it is, and people that listen to this show definitely know what it is. And once again, we'll be proven right on this show when we talk about it in probably 40 minutes time. Anyway, let's get down to business. Gruntdad Sports Cards from Korea, South Korea, that is. He's in once again watching the show. Great
welcome,
to have
mates.
you stop by once again. But you know what? Where we've got to start this show, Sauce. All right. He's glocked out of the league at the moment indefinitely. He had the world at his feet. Funnily enough, Sauce, Basketball Forever put this post up. I don't know if it's still there. I should actually try and find it. They put this post up about, it was kind of throwing a bit of shade at Zion because he wasn't playing basketball at the moment because he's hurt. The next morning, comes out the freaking the image of, comes out the story that Ja abused that 17-year-old kid, like physically assaulted him or whatever the hell he did. And then after that, it's come out with the gun in the Instagram Live, which, safe to say, it was a poor decision on his part, Sauce. So just your thoughts on that. Obviously, this is one of the up-and-coming players in this competition.
Look, this is sort of, this must be something that he's brought up with. He's obviously around a rough neighborhood, and involved with this sort of crowd that get involved in gangs and like to make themselves feel feared, sort of thing with their gun, showing off their gun and thing, as gang members don't mind doing. But I just think it's so stupid. Like you're literally asking for, sanctions by the league, by your club. You're asking to get in trouble. And I think I'm not sure if like Jalen Rose gave him, a bit of advice, which is, wise. I mean, Jalen Rose had a bit of a rough upbringing and was involved in that sort of same sort of crowd when he was coming up through the ranks of the NBA, and you just got to be able to control those outside factors and say no to the people that aren't serving you well and putting you in the right direction to be the most successful NBA player you can. And you're gonna have to cut ties with some of these people. I think that's where his next step is. He's got to cut ties with these people and stop acting stupid. I mean, this it's nothing other than just stupidity because albeit guns are legal in America and that it's just not a good look. You're a basketball player, and kids look up to you, and you're meant to be a bit of a role model, even though some of these basketball players they aren't the best at times. You've got to be better than that, and it's funny, Doma, because you have a look at what Ja Morant did, and what's happened, and it's not an isolated incident, and he's still got his nice Nike branded deal. They haven't dropped him, and you got Kyrie who tweets out just something. I mean, he's other than that, he seems pretty. Other than him thinking the earth is flat, that's a bit bizarre. But other than that, he hasn't done much else, and gets dropped like a sack of spuds, as quick as you can say it, mate. So pretty baffling for me from Nike, if you ask me, that they haven't cut or removed his deal that they just signed. He just got his first ever sneaker release, Doma. I'm not sure if you're aware. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens there because, in my eyes, what Ja Morant did is a hell of a lot worse than what Kyrie did.
Gruntad says, did you see he had them on the team plane also? No, we didn't. He said Dylan Brooks is involved somehow. If that's true, it would not surprise me if Dylan Brooks is involved. Would it surprise? It wouldn't, Source.
Well, he's
the
way
way that he comes
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, but this is what I was explaining that Basketball Forever put out, Source. They literally put this out here, and it said the team the Pelicans could have had, and then they've put Ja Morant instead of Zion because Zion was injured. I shit you not. The next post was this. Ja Morant has been accused of beating up a 17-year-old boy and pointing a gun at him. I'll tell you what, I'm taking the injury-prone guy that can potentially get back to playing basketball than the guy that is actually a complete dickhead. So, for your franchise...
I'll be interested to see if this has any effect on his cards. Are people worried about, is he going to go down the wrong path? And,
man...
Because, man, look, if he stays
I seen a card shop in Brooklyn. They're not accepting any more Ja Morant cards. They refuse trading, any trading or sales or anything like of Ja Morant because it's a bad look with the guns, and they don't condone that type of behavior with like their young, with like obviously their clientele that they cater for, which is predominantly men, but also families, like men with kids, young boys and young girls. So they've completely banned any sales of Ja Morant and selling of Ja Morant cards in their store, which is unbelievable. And they put a post out on IG. I should see if I can find it. It was something Brooklyn. Oh, but you know what I mean? It is a bad look, Source. It's a very, very bad look. And I agree with you. Does he get a pass like everyone else that's done shit like this over time? Or
you just need to be careful, Doma.
I just have a feeling it's the same thing as you, Source. Like what you said, it is what it is, and he'll be back playing basketball in no time.
Oh, he'll be back, but like he just needs to be careful because another wrong step, or he keeps hanging around with this wrong crowd. You might not be directly involved in what might be a crime, but you might be an accomplice of the crime because you're involved with those people, and it's going to find you in hot water. And I mean, this sort of thing doesn't bode well for collectors. I'll tell you that, Doma, because no one wants to collect a gangbanger or a guy that isn't perceived as a loved character. I mean, and that's what he was. He was just perceived as a guy who obviously came out of nowhere from college, and burst onto the scene. And wasn't touted sort of coming up through the ranks, but burst onto the scene in college, and then obviously go on number 2 pick, and now he's feared as potentially an up and coming and maybe top 5 best player in the league in the near future. This could all be taken away from him in a split second. So he needs to make better decisions going forward. He will be back. Look. He hasn't committed any crimes. He hasn't, it's bad what he's done. It's bad perception, bad optics. But it's, he'll be back. You got other guys doing a lot worse things that are getting second chances. I mean, so he'll be back. And as I said, Donna, I just find it funny that he hasn't been dropped by Nike after, what he's done. But hey, I guess, there's one rule for some and one rule for others, I guess. Depending on what the action is you do. And so yeah, just that's what I took out of it more than anything is what the other companies.
I understand. It looks like there's rules for some baffling. And not for others. Yeah. Rules for some and not for others. So it's very interesting with that Kyrie Irving one. I know what happened was perceived to be anti-Semitic and that's why they dropped him, but I'm not condoning anything. We'd never condone anything or promote anything that these people do, but it was a lead up to the events of Kyrie Irving that I think led to a harsher punishment on him, Source. The fact that he refused to get the pin in the arm, and he put up a fight for a whole season, and then I think the fact that obviously the information's come out that he actually did the right thing by actually just believing in his beliefs. And then to have something like that happen, they've gone, fuck, now we can pin something on him and get him. Like, really get him. And he copped it. He lost everything, like he said. And this guy has had an incident with a kid, a 17-year-old kid, Source. He's technically had 2 incidents because he had the altercation with this 17-year-old kid and he's pulled a gun on him, apparently. And then he's gone on the Instagram Live. He didn't pull the Instagram Live, the gun on the kid on the Instagram Live. He's apparently had this altercation, pulled the gun, and then gone on an Instagram Live and pulled a gun on the IG Live. Which has happened after the reports have come out that he's done that shit with the 17-year-old. He's gone and pulled the gun as if showing off to say, here's the gun that I use. Yeah, look, like that's what
I also read somewhere that the Steven Adams had a bit of a talk up, in a players only meeting saying, you guys need to take it more seriously and not go out when we're on the road and not go out and party, pretty much saying that, the young Grizzlies squad, that's maybe the reason they're not doing as good as they may have done previous, is because they're going out and getting on the piss when they're out on the road. And, that's affecting their gameplay. They're obviously staying out late and you can see it visibly. So, a veteran in Steven Adams obviously trying to pull them up and, they're obviously not listening that young team and led by Ja Morant. He is the leader. He's the best player on that team. And, if your leader's playing and acting up like that, well, it doesn't bode well for the guys underneath because they think that they can get away and do it as well. So your leader's got to lead by example and he's not doing that.
100%. 100%. And before we do get to it, the comments, on that note, Saucy, all right, we've got to give it early, top of the show, all right, because the absolute shit show that is Ja Morant at the moment, you, sir, R.A.
R.A. Lemon. Absolutely.
He genuinely could win it.
Ja Morant, you could win it for this. You really could.
You could actually have won it already, and it's only March. Like,
Baffling.
Matty Tabe, welcome. He also says Iverson did similar shit too and came out the other side with some words of wisdom and a reality check. Grunt Dad says he's on the Gilbert Arenas trajectory. And Matty Tabe said he also had a moment with Paul Blart to the mall cop.
Oh, that's right. The bloke at the mall that was giving his mum a hard time or something. Bloody.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's 3 incidents. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's done some stuff, man. He hasn't been on his best behavior, old Jar Lamont Morant. Anyway, he's glocked out indefinitely and he should be back, who knows, in the unforeseeable future. Anything else in the basketball world, Saucy? The one thing I did want to quickly just touch on, just a quick thought on Kevin Durant. He's debuted now for the Suns. Their starting five have done the bulk of the work on the scoreboard in terms of scoring. That's one thing I've noticed. It's all come from Booker, KD, Ayton, Chris Paul, and who's the other guy? Who's there? That starts. Someone else there. I've gone blank.
Kogi.
I think Okogie. He's there for defense. And then on the bench, it's just run-of-the-mill stuff, I guess.
The bench is pretty lackluster, and I think maybe this is where they might get found out in the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe their bench depth hurts them. But, you know, they do shorten the rotations in playoffs. So, maybe it doesn't hurt them as much. But nonetheless.
Talking a bit of shit to
talking
Luka.
a bit of trash to Luka. They look good. They look good, the Suns. I mean, and they, they've first 3 games KD's played, they've won, beating some decent opposition. So, look, they're going to be dangerous. It would just be interesting to see, how that bench fares because, they've got slim pickings there now off the bet.
I think any team source that gets Kevin Durant is going to be good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fuck. It doesn't matter who it is.
On the flip side, I mean, Mikal Bridges is putting up numbers now that he's getting the opportunity to get more.
He's the
reps.
man in the team. He's like we apologized. I apologized to him on this show about 4 weeks ago. I apologized. Stand corrected. Made me look like a fool, and rightly so. I owned up to it. He's been balling out. He had like 35 plus point games his whole time at the Suns, and he's already had 4 or 5 at Brooklyn since being traded there, which is pretty good. Like that is a great stat for him. And they've won games and they've lost a few, obviously, but it's looked pretty good there over at Brooklyn. They got a young core now, so unfortunately for Ben Simmons, he will get shipped off at the end of the season. They'll try and get more pieces in there. And
Ben Simmons will be back in the NBL before he knows it, mate.
Yeah, that's all right. At least we'll get game time. Get to watch him play. James, good evening, gents. Hope I didn't miss the EPL update. No, you sure as hell didn't. Luka just had to make a shot. Sometimes it just don't go in. Suns were lucky, I think. Yeah, they were. If Luka makes it, they win. Just scored a level 4 of Mikal tonight. Let's go. Nice. Core Kings level 4, Mikal Bridges. Well done, Matty Tabe. Ben Simmons will be hanging out with Ricardo after the season. I highly doubt that. Ricardo's at Red Bull, mate. He's having the time of his life, getting paid tens of millions of dollars to do jack shit. Jump in a car as a reserve. Pretty good. In the best car in the comp, which we'll get to in a couple of segments' time because the season's over before it's even started by the looks of things when it comes to the F1. All right, Sauce, let's move on. Let's get to the EPL. All right, let's get to it. Might as well get it over and done with. Man City defeat Newcastle 2-0. Wolves defeat Tottenham 1-0. Chelsea defeat Leeds 1-0. Brighton defeat West Ham 4-0. Villa over Palace 1-0. Southampton 1-0 over Leicester. Nottingham and Everton 2-2. Brentford defeat Fulham 3-2. Arsenal in the last kick of the game, Sauce 3-2 winners over Bournemouth.
I was losing it.
Touch on it. Yeah, come on, this is your team. You can talk about it.
I mean, it was a terrible start. We went a goal down in the first 15 seconds of the game. And then, we fought back. Well, I mean, we went and got another goal down. So we're 2 goals down. Second half, we keep fighting, but Dom, we keep fighting. We found a way. We got it back to 2-2. I mean, we severely outplayed them. We could have had a goal in the first half, but we didn't. They had another great chance, and Ramsdale had to make an amazing save, diving save. They probably could have nearly, put another one past us and put it to 3-0, but then we were able to get it back to 2-0. And then, obviously, if you haven't seen it, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. The last kick of the game, Reece Nelson with the left foot strike just from the top of the box, absolute bullet. And Doma, fair to say, I was absolutely going bananas. I couldn't jump up on my bed, but I was going back and forth like I was doing a crazy worm in my bed, just banging my head against the pillow, and losing it. So, look, it's a good win. We've got a tough run coming up, and we've got, our next 8 games. It's going to be hard. We have to keep performing to the best of our ability. Trossard got injured, so let's hope it's not too bad. And hopefully Gabriel Jesus is back soon, because
nice.
We're lacking. Yeah, he's back at training and everything, so let's hope that he can be back in the team shortly. But solid win. And look, just finding a way to grind out those wins. It's not the type of win that you want to have against Bournemouth, but the fact to go 2 goals down and come back and win that 3-2, that's, I mean, that doesn't matter what team you're versing, but, any Premier League side to do that.
You got to find a way to win, and they did, Source. And that's all you can ask for when you...
We kicked 3 goals in the space of 30 minutes of the game.
Good teams find ways to win. And if you're going to win the title, you have to win games like that. I know you mentioned that to me on the weekend. I completely agree with you. So, and then the last game of the round was a 7-0 fuck up of United by Liverpool. Genuinely fucked them up. That's probably the best way to
what
describe
happened,
it. I think that's
just
safe.
on such a high.
It's also safe to say we're very, very lucky. Well, I'm very lucky, and probably my wife's very lucky that I went to bed at halftime and we were 1-0 down. You, though, the listeners and the viewers of this show, and Saucy, you are unlucky, because if I was up and I watched the 6 goals in the second half, man, who knows? I probably would have pulled a fucking Glock on an Instagram live. I'm telling you, I would have been losing the absolute plot. Man, I went to bed. I woke up in the morning. I thought the photo was photoshopped. I said, someone's taking the piss, and I had to look at the account, and it said freaking 433. I said, this has to be fake. And I had a look, and it was just ridiculous, the second half. It was a good game by Liverpool. I'm going to give Liverpool credit, all right? They've been struggling this season, and they've found some form. And what way to get back into good form by defeating United at Anfield in the biggest defeat of United that they've ever had, in a 7-0 win, all right? But in saying that, at the same time, they scored some of the most Mickey Mouse goals ever, because I've never seen a capitulation of a team in a second half that Man United, like, Source. It was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. One of them, the funniest one was probably Nunes' second goal off the cross. It hit him literally on the back of the skull. He didn't even realize it, and it's gone into the top corner. Genuinely in the top corner. And he's turned around and gone, oh, fuck, I've scored here. And he starts celebrating. Salah got a tap in off a mistake. Gapco got the ball literally in the worst angle of all time, and he scored like Rashford did against Barcelona. He scored literally on the near post in the smallest gap, and the defender didn't even put a foot out to try and stop it. Oh, they were slipping and sliding, and Salah was making Martinez skate around. And anyway, they were terrible, Source. They literally look like headless chooks out there. They were running around.
Fair to say it was a mare.
It's, yeah. And this is what I was saying as a Man United fan. I was never, and I said it before on the show, I'm not, the lid isn't off for me. I just want to make Champions League. Do I think we can win the league? No, not really. Are we in contention to win the league? Yes, we are in contention to win the league. That obviously puts before this week's game, obviously, because you never know what can happen to Arsenal and Man City. There could be some unlucky losses and you get lucky. But man, oh man, I've been saying it. Our second halves have been unbelievable. We've been one of the best second half sides. We've been one of the best sides in the world this season with our win ratio. But our good is good, man. Like great. Our good is like our best is great. Our average is decent to good. Our average, but our bad games, when we get them, are like that. And the reason why it was 7-0 is because it was Liverpool. And they got firepower with Nunez, Gakpo, and Salah. That's why it was 7-0. If there was some other scrub team like a Southampton or Everton, we would have ground out a draw and it would have masked over the blemish of how bad we played. But our worst football is back to United pre-Ten Hag. It's Solskjaer United football, which is not good. And you can't win the league like that because 1-0 down, if that was Arsenal, they fight back Sauce and they get a win.
James reckons you made them look like Brazil in the 1970s. Mate, you made Liverpool look like the Joga Bonito, Brazil. You know, you made them look like Barcelona when they had Xavi and Iniesta. They had the whole trio there running the midfield.
We actually made Trent Alexander-Arnold look good again, and he's been shit for a season and a half. Like, we've genuinely made... we made that team who got destroyed by Real Madrid. That's the exact same team that got slapped by Real Madrid. I'm just trying to point out that Liverpool actually isn't that good. They're improving, but they're not that good. The team that got slapped by Real Madrid made us look like them against Real Madrid. And they were pathetic in that game after they went 2-0 up against Los Blancos.
Reality check, mate.
It was a reality check. But you know what? The best part about it was Ten Hag after the game. He goes, that's not United, and it's completely unacceptable, and those guys will have to watch it every day in the locker room this week, in the change room, and review it. Until they understand that what they did out there is not acceptable at Manchester United. I like that. It's going to hold them accountable. It's going to be a rough week for them at Old Trafford, at Carrington, so they can go jam it. Pricks. Piss me off. Assholes.
Mate, they don't. The facilities haven't been upgraded, mate. They don't even have a screen in the locker room, right?
Yeah, the greatest thing that happened, Sauce, in that game when they were slapping us, Liverpool, they started chanting "Viva Ronaldo."
Yeah, when they got the 7-0 because it was 7 goals.
because they were slapping us, and then they weren't chanting "We'll never walk alone." They were chanting "Viva Ronaldo" at Anfield. That's how much disrespect and shade United fans are copping.
They deserved it.
No, we did. No, we did. We don't. We've been through our shit anyway. Get fuck Sauce.
Deserve it.
No, I disagree. Games this week: Bournemouth, Liverpool. You watched Bournemouth actually beat them. Everton, Brentford, Leeds, Brighton, Leicester, Chelsea, Tottenham, Nottingham, Palace, City. West Ham, Villa, Newcastle, Wolves, Fulham, Arsenal, which would be a great game because Fulham's actually playing pretty well at the moment, and then Man United versus Southampton. So hopefully we can bounce back there. James said, imagine if Slabhead was on the pitch, could have been 10-0. Yeah, who knows? Could have been a couple of own goals. Would have been funny. Here's the ladder. We'll bring it up here so we can see Saucy nice and excited with his team on top. It's great to see. Don't worry, I got the zooming coming. There they are.
Come on.
Looking good, Sauce. 5 points clear. It's very nice. Liverpool's up into 5th now. Chelsea's swapped with them. They're in 10th still. Mid-table. And then heating up a big time, as we keep saying, in that relegation zone. Have a look at that, Sauce. Look at that. 5 points. 6 points from 6 points from 12th to 20th.
If Everton gets relegated, that's massive.
Just imagine if Everton, Leeds, and West Ham are the teams.
Jeez.
Imagine that. Hey, Matt. Welcome aboard. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we got some Champions League and Europa League games as well. So let's just get through these Europa ones. So we've got Roma versus Sociedad, Leverkusen, Ferencváros. We've got Sporting against Arsenal, Union Berlin against Royal Union, Juventus versus Freiburg, United versus Real Betis, Sevilla versus Fenerbahce, and Shakhtar versus Feyenoord. So those are the Europa games. And then over to the Champions League source, we have Benfica versus Club Brugge. We got Chelsea versus Dortmund, Bayern versus PSG without Neymar, who's out for 3 to 4 months, I'm pretty sure I saw.
Yeah, I think he's
So
out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's done. His season's finished. And then we have Tottenham versus AC Milan. Those are the game source. All right. Moving on. F1 was back, source. It was great to have it back in Abu Dhabi, the first race of the season. It was a bit like deja vu. There was only a couple things that had changed. All right, just a couple things. All right, I'll give you the driver standings. All right, I'll see these. Sorry on the white. All right, so we've got Verstappen won this race. Hasn't got his time. I can get the times in a second. Perez in second. Saucy, your boy, in third.
He's got not a bad car this season, it seems as though.
Yeah.
Fernando.
I don't know if you heard Checo Perez in the post-race interview. He said it's good to have 3 Red Bull cars up here because the Aston Martin's pretty much modeled the car off the Red Bull from last year. A bit like what was it Alpine, a Racing Point did with the Mercedes a few seasons ago in the pink Racing Point, and then they were very good also. Carlos Sainz they did. Carlos Sainz in 4th, Lewis Hamilton in 5th. Lance Stroll, who had the broken wrist that was surgically repaired, in 6th, which is a great effort. Georgie Russell in 7th. Bottas 8th. Pierre Gasly now at Alpine in 9th. Albon in 10th in the Williams. So it was good to see the Williams in the points. Sonoda just outside. The American Logan Sargent in the Williams finished 12th. Then we had Magnussen, De Vries, AlphaTauri, Nico Hulkenberg, Zhou Guanyu. And funnily enough, source, there's Lando Norris in 17th, dead last in the McLaren. All right? Dead last. He had an air pressure problem. He had to keep pitting. He was cooked.
Leclerc, same old
No,
with Ferrari.
just wait. This is what I'm saying, source. There's a few similarities. Same old cars, just a different season. You had Verstappen and Perez on top. You had Carlos Sainz sitting where he sat for the whole season in 4th.
Georgie Russell.
3rd. Georgie Russell and Hamilton around about where they were. Difference is Lance Stroll. But the same old problem source. What did we say last week? They were so confident. They changed their power unit. They're back. This is what we kept hearing. And what happened? Tell them. What happened? Where is he?
He got a DNF. And guess what? His power unit failed.
Man, I'm telling you, Ferrari, far out.
Honestly, there has to be a point where Leclerc just cracks the shits and just goes, stuff this. Like, they pretty much cost him, the power unit pretty much cost him his chance at winning the championship last year because he had so many DNFs. And, he had a lot of DNFs from good positions. He had a lot of pole positions last year. They mismanaged him as well. So, geez, I'd be filthy. But let's see if they can get that power unit to actually see out races. Because if they can, I mean, they have a car that can compete, but it's just it fails too much.
100%. 100%. The concerning thing, source, for those on the track that are competing in the 2023 Formula One season, is Verstappen beat his teammate by 12 seconds in second, but he defeated Alonso in third by 38.5 seconds, and Carlos Sainz in fourth by 48 seconds, Lewis Hamilton by 51 seconds, Lance Stroll by 54.5 seconds. He beat the second Mercedes by 55 seconds. So that's his competition. Then he was 74 seconds quicker than 73 seconds quicker than Valtteri Bottas in eighth, which is a no contest.
Just pack it up, Dom.
From Russell to Perez, there is a 55-second gap from second to seventh in no particular order.
Pack it up, Doma. Pack it up. I said after the race, I tweeted out on our Twitter, I said, you might as well just give it to him now. Give him the title. When you're beating guys, you know, what, by lap 37 or something, 37 laps.
It was over. It was over.
He was 30 plus seconds up on second. He was literally pitting and getting out of the pits before the next car could come. It was just like ridiculous. It seems as though that Red Bull's going to have a mighty fine car again this season. And you know, it's going to be up to the other teams to catch up to them. You know, I based off that first performance, I can't see how Verstappen does not win another championship and goes back to back to back.
The car's only going to get better. They haven't even started spending the money yet. They haven't even started spending the freaking money yet. Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy, Sauce. The other interesting one, all the eyes were on McLaren because of Piastri, the Aussie, and obviously we want him to do very well. He didn't finish. McLaren's finished last and had a DNF in the first race. This is a team source 3 seasons ago that were finishing the top 6, top 7 consistently.
They're gone backwards massively.
Massively. Everyone's gone ahead of them. Even Haas is ahead of them. And that's saying something. It's insane. Absolutely insane. The next race source is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We will preview that one, next week because it is on the 20th of March. So no race this weekend. And then on the 20th at 4 a.m. is that one. The live stream will probably happen on that race. It was a 2 a.m. race after the hobby hangout. There was no off the grid. We just watched it. Well, I just watched it. It'll be back for that one. 4 a.m. into about 6. It's a good time. Get up, finish the race, go to work. Thanks for coming. Jules says, Spooky, I was listening to your podcast today. There you go. Just giving you the sign, mate. Keep listening. Keep sharing us. Make everyone listen to us. It was great being on stage with you on the weekend. You are a legend, mate. Let's move on, Sauce. I'm throwing it to you because you got a promo and then you got to review the GOAT. I think it's just simple. We'll just say that.
Doma, it was huge over the weekend. UFC 285. We will review the card right after we get you this promo. This segment is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap, Australia's #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. Roll Clean Soap is made with 100% natural ingredients and helps keep you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Walk in with confidence and with Roll Clean Soap and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products targeting assisting post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, Boost Balm can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers a wide variety of soaps to choose from. Visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on socials. Roll Clean, we've got your back. Best in the business. Tell you what, we smelt fresh as a daisy at the hobby hangout with Roll Clean soap that I slapped on the night before. Bit of beard oil in the morning. Made the beard smell absolutely magnificent. And I'll tell you what, it got me a few extra sales down there at the hobby hangout, I reckon, because I was the aroma that the aura that I had, because the aroma that I was emitting was just unbelievable.
Smell was good at our table. I won't lie.
Smell was good.
Smell was good. Questionable for a few other areas in the at the Melbourne Pavilion. I can tell you that much. So, just a bit questionable.
All right, Doma. Let me get up the card. I didn't even have it prepared. That's all right. A little quick Google search. UFC 285. We're running through the main card, how it went down. A little bit of the prelim card because I did say there was a few guys on there that I was happy to watch. Obviously, my guy Ian Gary on the early prelims got the job done over Kenang Song in the welterweight division. He's now 11-0. Then on the prelim card, we had Driscus Duplessis. I told you he would win. He won in a KO over Derek Brunson. Very, dominant performance. And then on the main card, we had middleweight division Bo Nickel defeating Jamie Pickett in the first round with a submission. And lightweight division Matsu Gamrot, which I did say that, defeated Jalen Turner, third round decision. Then you had Shavkat Rakhmonov defeated Jeff Neal, third round submission, and Shavkat Rakhmonov goes to 17-0. This guy's an absolute unit. Watch out for him. Valentina Shevchenko loses her title in the women flyweight to Alexa Grasso, gets submitted in the fourth round, which is a massive, massive upset. Valentina Shevchenko was $1.11 on the bookies odds, so it was short favorite. So big upset by Alexa Grasso. Congratulations to her in taking the title. And then the main event, John Bones Jones gets the job done inside one round, submits Cyril Gahn. I told you so. I told you so. I said load up. Put your house on him. I'm telling you, he's not losing this guy. He ain't losing. Put your house on him. And I think when I first brought him up that he's got a fight coming up a few weeks back, Doma, the price he was at about $1.86. By the time the fight started, he was $1.53. So the punters had smashed him in that much to $1.53, got the job done inside one round. If you were smart enough to get him done in submission, because I did say he would just out wrestle him and just take him to the ground, grapple him, and finish him. I mean, it was dominant. He just doesn't have an answer, Cyril Gahn, when Jones went to that ground. He didn't have an answer. It was the first takedown, literally the first takedown of the match, turned it into a submission, and it was game over. I mean, it couldn't have been as simple a game plan for John Jones. But the fact of the matter is he goes out there and he literally executes it perfectly and gets it done in one round. And that's an easy payday for him. And no one in that division, in the heavyweight division, can beat John Jones. He will remain the champion for quite a while. I mean, they believe the next shot will be against Stipe. I think that will be a bit of a harder matchup than Cyril, because Stipe is actually pretty good, much better wrestler than Cyril Gahn. So I think it will be a bit more of a harder matchup there for John Jones. But I still expect John Jones to win that matchup. So we look forward to that. I feel like he didn't take too much damage, so it's just a matter of when they can line that fight up, and maybe we see John Jones back in the octagon within 3 to 4 months. But yeah, it was just a dominant performance, and 285. It didn't disappoint. There was a couple of banger fights on the card, but look, the main fight, John Jones, went exactly the way that I thought it would. Doma, this weekend this is actually a very, very, very good card for just a fight night. We've got fight night Peter Yan against Merab Divilishi. Pretty good card on here. You've got, let's see, light heavyweight, you got Victor Petrino against Anton Turkaj. Bantamweight, you got Said Nurmagomedov against Jonathan Martinez. Featherweight, Ricardo Ramos against Austin Lingo. And then heavyweight, you got Alexander Volkov against Alexander Romanov. I expect Romanov to be able to get the victory there. And then obviously the main event's Peter Yan against Merab Davishvili. So if whichever person wins this fight will probably have a title shot, most likely.
Against Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, well, because Aljamain's
probably so Yan will fight him again.
Well, he deserves another fight. I mean, after the way the last one went,
Yeah, that's fair enough. That'd be
he
a
got
quick
disqualified
turnaround
in
for
the
that one.
first one. He lost in
Yeah,
the
the first
second
one.
one.
Yeah.
He lost in the second one, which people thought that he actually won. You know, it was a bit of a dubious decision. But whoever wins this fight, obviously, I think Aljamain is predicted to maybe be fighting someone else. Could be Henry Cejudo in a title shot.
Yes.
So then after that, it has to be one of these guys. Has to get another shot. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But it's a very, very good fight night. It starts. The main card kicks off from 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So check your local guides if wherever that kicks off for you. And the prelim card kicks off from 7 a.m. So if you're up in the early hours of Sunday morning, chuck on ESPN or KO Sports and chuck on ESPN there, and it'll be on UFC.
Very nice, Sauce. Very, very nice. All right, let's get to Hobby Talk. We've got a little bit to chat about. So, as usual, Hobby Talk is brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thanks to the crew at Platinum Standard Grading for that one. It's good to see Rob and Pugs down there at the Hobby Hangout on the weekend, rolling around, having a chat with them. All right, Sauce. Let's quickly get to Tops Project 2022. We've got Gabriel Jesus by 17th and Oak. We've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic by Che Heinen. We've got Virgil van Dijk by Mike Perry. We've got Noah Lang by Ivan Bezlic. And then we have Randall Kolo Moani by our boy Tyson Beck. There it is. Right there, Sauce. The Zlatan, the Moani, the Jesus, the Van Dijk, and the Lang.
Some crackers there this week, I reckon.
Absolute rippers, mate.
Nearly everyone's a good card.
Yep, they've nailed it this week. Looking good. Let's get to it, Sauce. That's Tops Project 22. We've got the Hobby Hangout, which we're going to cover. We've got the pickups that we had. Saucy's got some PWCC purchases that he's just recently made. And then we're not going to pack war, but we are going to promote these bad boys. The Mr. Cork Kings repack. Unfortunately, Saucy left his downstairs.
I left mine downstairs, and I'm not hopping down there on my crutches to get it.
But I'm gonna pump it up. All right, I'm gonna pump it up.
We'll crack open in another couple next week.
Yeah, we'll crack them open again because these sold like hotcakes at the double coverage table. We had Mr. Cork Kings there, Matty Tabe put them up there for sale, and they put on a clinic. All right, Hobby Hangout, Sauce. Let's get to it. First and foremost, layout was a bit different this time, Sauce. They opened up the back area where we had our at the table the first year we were there. They opened that area up right near the outdoor section where the food and drinks were. There was more lighting. So where we were based, it was open this time. So more space to move around up there. There was lighting up there, as one of the biggest criticisms was how dim it was at the last show. So the feedback's been taken on board.
They got in added lighting.
Which is
so
good.
I'm not sure if you've seen at the end of the show, obviously when the patrons had left when we were all packing up, there was people taking down additional lights that had been put up just specifically for the show. So that was obviously one of the issues that we had previously, lack of lighting in there. People want to see the cards that they're buying. So that was good. That was good. I feel like the layout was a lot better. It was able to spread out the people a lot better. I think the way that they didn't have tables in the middle of that section where we were and just left it sort of open, left it, a nice space for people to also sort of just come there and chill out as well. in that space. So it didn't seem like it was always so crowded. And they had that back section open. You remember towards where you go out the outdoor area, there was like another section to the right.
Right near where we were the first year, we were there in the corner. That section was all open this time, which was pretty good. Here he is.
The Messiah.
Hi, guys. With a couple lemons. Maddie said the scotch was good at the start. So it was good. Great to see a lot of people there. Obviously, Maddie Tabe came down from South Australia, who does these repacks. He's also a part. Well, he's the helper to the beautiful creator of Raw Clean Soap, which is his lovely wife, Kat, who is a partner with the show, who creates these beautiful smelling soaps and other products. Tyson Beck traveled down, which was fantastic to catch up with him in person. Anthony traveled down. Rob and Pugs traveled down. There's probably a bunch of other people that have traveled down that we might forget, but it's also good to catch up with the people in the hobby here, based in Melbourne. Of course, Panther and Jules and Lane and the boys at Cherry.
Big Jono.
Rocket. Big Jono. Rocket as well at Neon. There's heaps. There's so many. The crew of Feisty Lizard are always killing it. MSF Pro cards. They had that gold Christmas tree there, Source on the rotator, which if you saw on the Messiah's story, had it on there. You may or may not have found card porn. The Messiah put in his story as well, which is quite funny. It was all around a great day, catching up with people. That's what makes the hobby. Another change that they had was they lowered the platform on the stage as well, so it was more of a grounded level for when obviously the guests were up there speaking, which two of them were us two lovely gentlemen right over here. Chris said, "Great hobby hangout. You both did great on the stage during Q&A." Oh, we really do appreciate that. I got worried for 1 second. I really did get worried. Matty Payne was asking all these questions, and he's firing them to everyone, and he's firing them to me. And I'm like, if he asks me another question, I want Saucy to do a bit of talking here. So I'm going to just handball it off to him to answer. And the question that he had to ask me that I decided in my brain, the next question that comes to me, I'm going to handball, was on grading. And I've gone, for fuck's sakes. I've gone, I may or may not have ended us right here, right now. Saucy answered very well.
Dom was ready to pack the bags right there and then.
I was ready. I was done. Saucy answered it very well. He did put the disclaimer in there that it was the PG version. And if you wanted the full version, you can come to the show, which is fair. And then I did put the disclaimer in there and say to him that if you are going to send high-end cards, you do send them to the great man that was sitting next to us, which is Lane at the Hobby AU. But you answered it very well. Asked a lot of other questions were about dipping in the market in terms of card prices, and it's a good time to buy singles. And then there was actually a really good discussion about box prices, which I'm glad some of the stuff we've said on this show, Source, was backed up by Panther, he's an avid collector, but not just Panther, who's a collector, but by Lane and also by Jules. So Jules has a brick and mortar. He has an LCS. It's EJ Cards. And he even said, like, retail should be the point where everyone can afford the box. Everyone should be able to buy retail and rip retail. So he was saying that even those prices need to start coming down a little bit more, than where they're at now. So it's not just us sounding like broken records and people saying, "Oh, it could be negative what you're saying." No, it's factually correct. It's just unattainable for people, kids, families, anyone, collectors, to just put money into boxes and get absolutely nothing in return. Absolutely nothing. So
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
it's slowly getting better. I mean, I did see Cherry, selling optic retail boxes basketball for $120 for a box, which that's pretty good. And I think that's the 20-pack box or the 24-pack box.
it's good.
So yeah, I mean, it's good to see that the prices are, for some boxes are coming down, which is what we want to see. So yeah, look, it was a good day all in all, Doma. It is always good to see people that you only see sort of at these events. Sometimes, there's an odd occasion that you might catch up with them outside of the events, but it's always good to catch up with people that you don't really see unless it's at a card show. So that's what makes these also fun. Not only going there and finding some things for your PC or finding some items that you wish to pick up, but meeting, having a chat with people. Which was fantastic. So another successful event. Obviously, congratulations to Andrew and the organizers there. They always do a good job. We're always delighted to be a part of the event. And it's always definitely a fun day, catching up with a bunch of people and like-minded people and, talking a bit of crap and, making some deals.
100%. I just want to give a shout out to two guys that were there, Source. And, it was on the corner spot, where we were with Tyson at the last show. That corner spot that swings around there? There was the table and had the Ronaldo Nazario sticker in there, the Maradona sticker. They had some sick, vintage soccer in there. I'm not sure if you remember the table, but the two guys there are from Jammer Collectibles. And it was very funny that they were with their kids and they look so familiar. I'm like, I've seen these two guys before, and they're two lovely gentlemen, and they'd actually come to a Melbourne card fair at the Malvern Town Hall ages ago. It's when we had a table there, Source.
Yes.
And they came with their family, and we gave their kids some double coverage free packs. And I said, "Did we meet at the Malvern Town?" And they're like, "Yep." And they're like, "You guys were awesome, and you gave our kids free packs." And they're like, and I just said to them, "Do you mind if I just get some content of your table?" And they're like, "Yep, no worries." And then I went to walk off, and they go, "Oh, Doma, can you wait a sec?" And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh, let's get a photo. We really appreciate it." And I'm like, it was actually really nice from them. And they were ripper blokes, and it does mean a lot. And we did give out a lot of packs to kids and stuff. They were hanging around, and if we miss them by accident, it's because there was probably wheeling and dealing happening. But we saw a lot of kids out in our area, and just giving them cards, and a lot of them came back up to us, and thanked us, and they're getting free stuff, Source. And
did have one kid come out and try hustle the absolute crap out of me, Doma. He came really? with his Ja Morant, spellbound. He had the letter O, and he wanted to trade it, and he's trying to trade it for something. And I'm just like, and then he wants to sell it to me.
The O from Glock. And
then I said to him, I said, "Look, I'll give you that pack of cards for the card." Right. And he wanted 2 packs of cards. I said, "Nah, mate, only 1 pack." I said, "Or else I'm happy to not do the deal, mate. So it's up to you." And then he's gone thinking about, I'm like, hang on. How about I give you this whole box of cards and you can keep your card and you just take the whole box of cards. Mind you, the whole box of cards was a bunch of, base and, a few rookies and stuff in there that I just had there that I was trying to give away for free, Doma. So in the end, I think I won out of the deal because I got rid of a whole bunch of base. And I didn't have to I only had to give up my base, right? And there's a few rookies in there and a couple of inserts and stuff, but it was a whole box. So I gave him about 200 cards.
Oh, you gave him that box?
I gave him a whole box. Oh. There would have been 200 cards in there.
That's elite.
First he's trying to sell something to me, and in the end I've walked him away with 200 free cards.
Oh, that's funny. Chris says the Jammer's table was a good pickup. Yeah, he picked up a Palais. Very nice. Matt's Card Shop says Jammer are great blokes. Jay wants to know, Maddie, are you sports cards? Are you card porn? Matty Tabe said, so many cherry repack throwbacks came to the table to try sell. And Matt said, got me to Jay. There you go. We found card porn right there. Matt's card shop.
Matty's just all about the money,
Cover
mate.
up.
I'm not sure if you've seen that video up on Andy Toy Story's Instagram. It was pretty funny. I had a bit of a chuckle.
Andy's doing great things in this space too. I like the trajectory and the angle he's going with his content. I had a brief chat to him about that on Sunday, which is awesome. It's something different, and it's always it's funny. I like it. I like that like content that's just so out there and different, and it's something different to enjoy. So he's killing it. So good on him. Anything else? Oh yes, the big takeaway source. Who would have freaking thought? Who would have thought there was times during this show that there was sports card tables that had no one around them and everyone was flocked around TCG? Who would have thought? Who would have thought the one avenue in the hobby where the boxes are affordable and you can get back on average 35 to 70% of what you put into the box? Who would have thought that's the avenue that people are going to collect their cards? And who would have thought that the kids have fallen into that aspect of the hobby, not the sports card aspect of the hobby? It's unbelievable. So a good example was Matty Tate bought a ETB. His 3 hits in the ETB was, so he bought it for $60. His 3 hits was at averages around $40 to $50 for the 3 cards that he hit. So if he sells those 3 cards and he sells all the other stuff, he breaks even potentially, or he loses $5 on the box.
You're definitely not getting that when you open sports cards.
Just think about that, please, ladies. Just think about that. $60.
If it was a half decent card, you might be able to grade one of them.
Yeah, even if it's 45 return and he lost $15 on it. Tell you what, I'm happy to lose $15 than $5,000. So, yeah, it's crazy. TCG was banging. And that section near the bar, near the bar near the stage, I was trying to get in there, and I know Saucy was trying to get in there the whole day, and it was literally jam-packed. I was able to get there at about 3:45, and I picked up some stuff, some TCG cards there.
I got there in the end, picked up some Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah, Saucy went there too, but I had a chat to the guys. I haven't got my wallet on me. I had a bunch of cards, like business cards. But the guys there were like, genuinely have just stopped. It's been crazy all day. So it's good to see for those stores in the hobby. Jay says sports cards to the moon. Mate, the next thing we're going to be doing is opening up the Cup NHL hockey cards on a yacht. No comment who did that. You can go. And I tell you what, the people that were opening it.
Does it live on a golf course?
No. I was surprised. It was Lil P was on there with the person. Got him the stock. He opened 2 boxes, and then he had some other, I don't know, I'd say box openers that, you know, they did a pretty good job. So they weren't bad on the eyes either. So
anyway, I know exactly what
you know who I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly where I'm going. Anyway, it's all a bit of fun. Let's get to our pickup source from the show. You haven't got yours on you, do you?
I told you, I've left mine downstairs.
We'll do them next week. We'll do them next week.
Downstairs. No, you can show yours off if you want.
Yeah. Make me big. I got 4 cards to show because that's all I picked up. Funnily enough,
there you go.
All right, I sold the card right at the end when I went to go buy my main card of the show, which I'll show you in a second. It was my Horace Grant piece of gold. Pugs bought that source. It was Pugs that purchased that card.
Yep,
So
it was.
He put
Shout
a
out, Pugs.
image up on IG. So shout out to Pugs. Enjoy that card, mate. I hit that in a gold standard box when I paid $120 for the box. So when you can find that, yeah, well, it's good value there. What you picked up. So I picked up. Here you go, just some TCG stuff. So Dragon Ball Heroes, Gotenks Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, I went to that same table that you got those from.
Here's Goku. And of course, I can't go into Dragon Ball cards without getting my boy and who I consider the GOAT. Here he is, Vegeta. It's a nice looking card there. So I hit those 3, and then I went over to Tinky Breaks to their table and saw some Tanya. They got a great assortment of football world game cards. And I was just having a look through, and a card caught my eye, and I went, I was umming and ahhing. I'm like, do I buy it? Don't I buy it? I think I bought it for the fact that when I put it down, it was just, I don't know, it was just a sign. I picked up the card, I looked at it, I put it down, I get a tap on my shoulder the moment that I put it down, and I turn, and the great and beautiful Matty Tabe was standing before me, and he goes, Doma, I just sold the card for you. Here's some money. And I've gone, you know what? You've bankrolled me here. I'm willing to part with some of my PayPal cash. And did a deal. They gave me a discount on it. They went under comps as well. So I gave the comp, and I said, I'm happy to pay the comp, which was less than what was priced on the card. And the guys over at Tinky Breaks, they're like, nah, we'll go lower than that. Another $15 lower than that. And they threw in these as well. They know I'm a Man United fan. So they threw in just a whole bunch of Topps Chrome Stadium Club Man United cards. There's like Cantona in here, Fernandez, Scholes, Sancho. But the pickup was a 2016 Panini Donruss Dominator gold, not numbered, but gold, PSA 10. And when I'm buying soccer, I'm only buying one guy. All right? And it's this guy right here. Yeah, just put it on source. Get it. Get the GIF. Get it up.
I can't find it. Where is it?
Come on, mate. So, there it is.
Show us the card, Doma. Yeah, it's a nice one. So it's out of 2016 now. I pointed this out to Doma. It's out of 2016, which, back then there was a lot less printed than what they're printing now because, soccer products weren't as popular, so they didn't print as many. So it's a gold short print, and it's probably a lot more short print than what they call short print now. So
I checked the pop source. I checked the pop, 12 in the pop.
There you go. Only 12 PSA 10s.
Yeah. So pretty happy with it. The centering, I don't know. Well,
it's PSA 10, mate. So it doesn't matter what the centering is.
I showed this to Tyson, and we had a laugh, and Tyson went, oh, look at my card. This is perfect centering. I said, yeah, that's fine. I go, that's a PSA 10 for my card because it's off center. I said, yours is perfect, so that's probably an 8. So just relax. Yeah, we had a nice chuckle. So that was my pickup. Very happy with it. Thank you to the crew over at Tinky Breaks for helping me out. I really do appreciate it. You guys are absolute legends. And as I did mention to them, we will get them on at some stage this year on a pod. That's it from me there. How are we going on time? Let me just rip these repacks, and then we'll do your PWCC source, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Pack it up, mate.
All right, let's go. Let's have a look. These are $20 a pack. All right, they go like absolute hotcakes.
He must have sold at least 30 on the weekend. I don't know. I lost count.
Keep the hit on the bottom. Got your boy at the back here, Source.
$20 repack. Let me just tell you, Doma, we opened how much? $300 and something worth of shit.
Yep, probably about $300 worth of stuff. So what we ripped, if you go on our IG, was about $300 worth of shit. And we got, how much do you reckon? We got that LaMelo ball from Mosaic.
Yeah, LaMelo ball. There was probably like, maybe we got like $50 worth of cards back by the time maybe you could sell some couple of variants and things. Maybe 50 if we're lucky.
$50. All right.
Maybe
so
50 if you're lucky.
maybe. All right. So here it is. Here's his shout out, Mr. Court Kings. Is that Mr. Court Kings on
Read
IG? Right there.
read the motto.
Thanks for buying from Mr. Court Kings. Love the hobby. Be the hobby. That's what it's all about. We've got a Toscano Anderson rookie. Patrick Williams rookie. These are base. We've got a green Spencer Dinwiddie from Hoops. Green Luke Kennard from Donruss. Eric Paschal rookie. We've got the GOAT. Yes, you heard me. Caruso. I won't lie, I love it because it's a Chicago Bulls Caruso with the Lakers top one. You got to fucking love Panini sometimes. I swear to God, you just got to love him. Quickly rookie from Select.
He's getting better.
We've
quickly.
got we've got an Express lane. Express out of the league. Ben Simmons. Here it is. There you go. And then, as I said, Sauce's boy, Troy Brown Jr. And then the hit in the repack is not bad. To 99, Sauce. To 99.
Yeah.
Chris Webber.
Chris Webber. There you go.
I'll take that. That's the first one. So I'm already happy with it.
I believe
$20,
each pack
you know?
is guaranteed a numbered card and an auto, I believe. Something like that. Because every one I've opened has had at least an auto or a numbered card in there.
All right. Put the hoop down.
James.
The hit down.
James Ben Simmons on the express lane to Shanghai Sharks.
We need to get a Ja Moran or something in here. It'd be just a lead if we did. Aaron Nesmith. We've got CJ Allaby. We've got Davis Bertans. We've got my boy, Pat Bev. There he is. That's a silver 2. That's going in the PC. Dame Dollar. Kendrick Nunn red. From the Heat. We've got a Jaylen Brown.
Yellow and green laser.
Jared Butler from the Jazz. And Zeke Naji, rookie. And the hit is... Oh, I don't mind that. It's a 49. It's a sticker. Doesn't matter. From Spectra. Auto. Source. Auto. It's a 49. Is it his rookie? No, it's not his rookie. But Nikhil Alexander Walker.
No, that's not bad at all. It's pretty good, actually. Pretty good.
There you go.
You got to remember, someone paid a $700 box of Spectra and got that at the hit.
$20. I'm happy with that.
$20.
All right. Got a numbered Chris Webber card. Got some variations. Kendrick Nunn. Got the Jaylen Brown. Whole bunch of rookie base cards. Of course, we got this. Express to Shanghai. Of Ben Simmons. That might become my new coaster. Anyway, thank you very much, Matty. There's the promo for you, and we appreciate all your support. Here's the love again, Mr. Corkings.
Check him out.
Whoop. Mr. Corkings.
Yeah, check him out at Mr.
Check him
Corkings.
out. He's a legend, mate.
Instagram. And you can buy some of those packs. I think he has them up on his eBay store. So you can buy them from there. All right, Doma. We'll show off my couple of PWCC pickups that I got. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here's the first one. Here we go. Picked up this BGS 10.
All right.
V-Star.
Japanese.
Japanese one. So this is out of the latest set, the V-Star Universe set, which is a nice set, if you ask me. Dom, I was looking at it last night. It's like the V-Star Universe is like the Crown Zenith sort of equivalent in the Japanese version. So if you can, I think the booster boxes are going for about $150. Not a bad little buy at 150. Those Japanese booster boxes. I think you buy a few and you hold on to them. I think they'll go up because there's a couple of nice chase cards in this set. So this is just cheap little pickups that I got because Doma, I figured I didn't have any Pokemon. I didn't have any TCG to sell at these shows. So I'm going to, over the next little bit before the next show that we're going to set up at, I'm going to slowly pick up a few pieces. Look on PWCC, look on eBay, pick up some Pokemon stuff to have in my case for next time. So here's, the start of it. Picked up this is a Snorlax.
Oh, your boy.
So this is 2002 Japanese Swish Dark. I don't know what that Dark Phantasma. Oh, it must be the set. I have no idea. I just look at the picture, Doma. I look at the picture. I believe this is just like a standard base card or something, but it got graded a 10.
No,
so
I don't think
you
so.
can't really complain about that.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
it is.
It'd be a holo.
Maybe it's a holo. I don't know.
I reckon that's a full art card. I don't think that's a base.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got no idea, Doma. I just buy it because I like the picture. Look, he's eating. Snorlax loves to eat. Picture looks great. That's pretty much why I bought it. And then the next one is another Mewtwo. I'll buy all these, Doma, because I'll collect these guys. So if I don't sell them, I'm not that upset. They end up in my PC, whatever. I might pick up a few other ones. I was looking at Raichus and other guys as well. So there's a couple. Doma, literally pick these up for absolute peanuts. Yeah, I think all of these 3 cards cost me $62.40 after buyer's premium. So that's USD. So once you convert that, that's about 95 Australian dollars. Plus you're going to have a little bit extra to get it back here to Australia. So probably all 3 of those cards by the time I get them back here to Australia are going to cost me about $100. I've bought 2 10s and a BGS 9.5. I think they're you'll be able to sell those and make a little bit of profit off them. A couple of, this is, I think the second time I've ever won anything off PWCC. I always just forget to bid on the extended bidding. I always throw bids in there, but I forget when it comes to the extended bidding and just forget all about it. But what I did this time was, so I didn't forget, I actually put a few higher bids in there, what I was willing to pay. And, I was lucky enough to come back. I actually forgot about the extended bidding and checked it later and seen that I won 3 items. So I bid on about 15 items, won 3, can't complain. And I'll get these shipped back so that when we have the next show, Dom, I've got some Pokemon slabs to sell.
Jay reckons he could have got a large of Lucky meal for $15.
Mate, then you don't have a fancy coaster, Jay. All right.
The last thing I do want to show before I do wrap it up, I forgot about this card. So Adam Beats and Breaks, who does the Le Mans of the Year award for us, he walked up to me. He's with his son, who he was very smart. His son, he was wearing a messy top. He did say to me he likes both him and Ronaldo. It's just that's the top he was wearing on the day, and that's fine. I respect that. He's just a kid. But I did say to him, you like Ronaldo more. And he goes, I like him the same. I said, yeah, okay, you like Ronaldo more. That's good. Anyway, he came up to me. He tapped me on the shoulder, Adam, and he goes, Dom, I got a card for you. I said, are you serious? And he goes, yeah. I wanted to give you a card of this guy, Charles Leclerc, so you can look at a guy that is never going to win a world title. That's what he said to me when he gave me the card. And I fucking pissed myself. It's numbered to $3.99 as well, Sauce. It's numbered.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He goes, I want you to have a look at a guy. This is to remind you that he's never going to win a world title. And I'll tell you what, based on what I saw in Bahrain, you are on the money at the moment. Adam, I'm just pissed off because he was my pick to win the title last year. And you know what? In all honesty, Sauce, you know as well as I do, it actually wasn't a bad pick. At all. It wasn't. The team lost it for themselves.
Yeah, that would
unbelievable. Anyway, I want to quickly. James said he won a quickly Prism to $199 for $25 yesterday on PWCC. Awesome. On that note, a big thank you to everyone, all right, that has supported us. We really do appreciate it. We don't get opportunities to obviously get on stage at shows like the Hobby Hangout if it wasn't for the support of all of you. It means the world to us. We will continue to do this. We have promised you more special pods this year, and we are going to live up to that. We've got a couple in the works, potentially one after this that we're going to do a pre-record on. So stay tuned for that. We've got hopefully another one to get recorded next week, if I can work it out with the person. And then we're looking to get a few others that we had planned on getting on. So thank you so much. Nice work, says Matty Tabe. Can't wait for the Adelaide vlog. James said would love for us to come to the Sydney Hobby Hangout. You know what? It probably is something on the radar for next year, James, in all honesty.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
It's just a bad timing this year with, like, obviously Saucy. He's got some stuff on. I've got some stuff on as well. It just didn't work. It was a bit of a clash. So maybe next year we can do Sydney after Melbourne and then do South Australia again, because we will try to get to SA in November. But we'll see what happens. All right. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. We love you all. Peace out.
Peace out, ladies and gents.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.